Om Shanti. So, Baba has given us the knowledge that I am eternal and Baba is also eternal. And the relationship with Baba is also eternal. Now, Baba talks about many things in the Murli today, of some of which we will discuss. First and foremost, Baba is today talking about honesty with Baba. And Baba says those who don't have honesty with Baba will not be able to remember him, not be able to stay in his remembrance. Now, have you ever seen that when you are dishonest with somebody, then you cannot connect with them? So, if you're hiding something from your maybe the closest ones, the spouse, the parents, or the children, if you're hiding something, then there is no connection. And they also feel that you are withdrawn, and you also know that you don't have that connection with them. And Baba says that honesty is very important for good connection. And if you don't have that link with Baba, you cannot remember him, because you cannot connect with Baba physically. And if you can only connect with Baba with the heart, and if that heart is full of something which takes you away from Baba, then you cannot connect with Baba. And if you cannot remember Baba, then how will you do away with your sins? So the only way to purify yourself is to remember Baba. But in order to remember Baba, you should feel a certain closeness with Baba. And how will you feel close to Baba? If you're honest with Baba. Now, what is honesty? Honesty is when there is a continuity or a consonance between your thoughts, words, and actions. Yes, so look at, so when you are, so honesty with Baba is also related to honesty with the self. So first thing is, am I an honest person? Because if I don't have honesty, I cannot be honest to Baba. You can be honest with anyone if you are honest, right? First, you need that quality or that qualification. Now, will you be called honest? When there is no discrepancy between your thought, word, and action. Whatever you do publicly and whatever you do privately is the same thing. So when there is that level of, integrity between your thought, word, and action, only then can it be called honesty. Otherwise, if you're speaking something and doing something else, then you will always have reason to hide something. Yes? So whatever you are thinking is what you're speaking, and whatever you are speaking is what you're doing. That honesty you need to have. Now just check through the day. Do your thoughts, words, and actions match? So, if there is there is a discrepancy between thought, word, and action, then there is no honesty. And that soul who doesn't have honesty cannot connect with Baba. So, and then, about Baba. So, in this relationship also, as this relationship starts growing, some of you are in a very initial stage of the relationship, but then as the relationship grows, you also start thinking about Baba. Now you're trying to think about Baba, but then as the relationship grows, then you start thinking about Baba, and there is an exchange, and there are some things you speak in the commentary. And then ask yourself whether what you are thinking in your mind, even if it is in the influence of a commentary, do you live by it? Okay, so it's about what you do inside privately, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, the actions you do, whether they are in consonance with each other, and they can only be in consonance with each other if they are aligned with your true nature. So if only if your thoughts, your words and actions are pure, peaceful, loveful, can they be integrated. If they are full of lust or anger or ego, you cannot integrate them, because you cannot you cannot in the privacy of your mind, if you're very lustful, you cannot act likewise outside. So that won't happen. So, and if you are very proper outside, then if you are inside, these thoughts are there and the mind is not clean, then that is not honesty. So you are giving an image which you are not, and then people are having an expectation which is not you. So all that is there. And then Baba is saying about this honesty with Baba, where you are saying in the meditation that I am soul and I belong to you and I surrender to you. But then are those words only getting, talk? It is the commentary talking, or is it you also speaking from the heart? And if it is so, then is it translating into how you are conducting yourself day by day? And Baba says, when there is dishonesty inside, then you will not be able to have a connection with Baba. And of course, we are all very dishonest right now, trying to be honest. So this is a work, that a deep inner work that we have to do, and we have to actually make an effort to live by whatever Baba is telling us and whatever we think is the right thing to do, and then see that our thoughts and our sanskaras don't deceive us. So we have to look into this whole aspect. Is it making sense? So are you getting it? Yes. So this is what Baba is talking about. And then Baba is also talking about, there is this question that many people ask me. So they say that, why is this Brahma Kumaris? So this is, so in the Murli today, Baba is talking about these things, and I will read it out for you. It is very interesting. So Baba says, your name is Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. It is not only Brahma Kumaris. But you see, if we wrote on the board Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, it would be very big. So something had to be written. So in the drama, it was so that only one name was mentioned. So in the Murli, Baba is saying, your name is Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. The name written on the board is Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. It cannot just be Brahma Kumaris. The father of people is Brahma. A father has both sons and daughters. Only Prajapita Brahma can have so many children. So it is not like it is only Brahma Kumaris, it is Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. But Baba is correcting it in the Murli because the boards were made that way. So, and you see, what is about Brahma Kumaris and why this name Brahma also? We will talk about it today. And in the Murli, Baba says, There are so many unlimited children, and they must therefore definitely be claiming the unlimited inheritance. You children know that Shiv Baba has adopted you, Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. And you see that the whole world, every soul in this world is Shiv Baba's child, right? So every soul in the world is Shiv Baba's child. So there is no soul who is not a Shiv Kumar and Shiv Kumari. So everybody, and I don't know whether you can say Shiv Kumar or Shiv Kumari, because in the soul world we don't have a gender. So we are just Shiv Baba's children. So it cannot be Kumars and Kumaris. So there is no nothing to do with gender in the soul world. Now, once we come here and we forget Baba and we get depleted, then Baba has to come and purify us. So that Baba who will live with in the soul world has to come and purify us. Now the problem is we think in language. So have you ever noticed that when you are thinking in words? So even your thoughts have a language. You cannot think without a language. So even when you're thinking, there are words you're using in thoughts. Now Baba says, if you have to be taught anything, then I have to use words. And I have to come into speech. And I do not have a body. So what I do is I take this one's body, Brahma Baba's body, I enter his body and I use his sanskars, because he knows how to speak and how to do stuff. He has all those sanskars. So I use his sanskars to deliver the knowledge I know. Yes, so Baba says that I have to do this because I don't have a body, I don't know a language, and I have the knowledge which is pure, but I need a sanskar and a body and another soul. And you see, why Brahma Baba's soul? Because every soul has a sanskar according to the journey we have had. So if somebody has not been in the golden age, or somebody has not been in this confluence age earlier, then they don't have the sanskars of that age. And if when Shiv Baba comes and talks about the golden age, that soul won't get it because they don't have the sanskar. Right? So because Brahma Baba is the number one soul, the Shri Krishna soul, he has all that recording in him. So this is why when Shiv Baba takes the company of that soul, who is the number one soul, then he is able to translate all his knowledge into words. And then Baba says that when I have to adopt you, I have to have a medium through which I talk to you and give you sustenance. So I adopt you through Brahma Baba and through the Murli and through this yajna, and this whole task has a format that with which it can take place. So Baba says this is why you're called Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, because you are adopted by Shiv Baba through Brahma, because Baba cannot do it on his own. So he needs a human medium. So he takes that medium and then he adopts each of us through that medium. So we are called Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. Is it clear? Yes. So now Baba tells another very interesting thing today. Baba says this adoption is very wonderful because I am adopting my own children. So you are anyways my children. But then now I have to adopt you, and then you have to practice. So have you seen an adoption case in real life? It is very interesting. So I know somebody, and this child got adopted by her father's by his father's sister. So now, when he grew up, he came to know that his mother is actually his buaji. Okay, so now he got so confused. He couldn't, and sometimes he would call her mother, and then sometimes he would call her buaji. And then when he came to his own place, which was his original home, then he would be very confused whether to call his father Mamaji or Pitaji. So that was very, very confusing for him. So now Baba says, now you see, I am your father, and then I have to tell you that you believe I am your father. So you have to practice being my child when originally you are my child, because all this while you got confused. And why did you get confused? Because you got adopted by Ravan in the meanwhile. So Maya adopted you, and that is why you became very body conscious, and you got these ideas that I am the child of this one who is body with a body, or this mother or this father. And Baba says, now I have to clean you of all that, and then again remind you that you are actually my child. So Baba says, I am your original parent, and then you got adopted by Ravan, and then now I have to re-adopt you through Brahma Baba, and then you have to take. And why does Baba have to do all this work? To give us our inheritance. So Baba says, I have to give you your inheritance which you deserve, and you deserve a world of happiness and peace, and that you will get only when you get re-adopted. Now, what is this re-adoption? So, when you start recognizing that you are not the child of some human with a lot of limitations and vices, but you are the child of the one who is the ocean of purity, or the ocean of peace and love and knowledge, then you start seeing yourself like that. Have you reached that stage where you start seeing yourself in an unlimited way, not limited by the limitations of who you think you are? So, you are wonderful, but you think you are limited, so you're limited. And where have those limitations come from? So you have been conditioned into believing that you are the child of this person, and you were given this kind of an education, and you cannot understand things beyond you were educated for. Do you believe that your education is a limitation? So if you are an engineer, you cannot understand medicine. And if you are a chartered accountant, and if you're not a chartered accountant, you cannot maintain accounts. So you have to, so there are various limitations of the ways in which we are conditioned. And I will tell you, so there is this amazing example of Prakashmani Dadiji. And Prakashmani Dadiji, I don't know about her formal education, but I don't think she was more than a matriculate according to formal education. But Dadiji had this intelligence which did not match her, formal education. And if you see, Dadiji was the chief administrative head of Brahma Kumaris from 1969 to 2007. And in these years, the Yajna expanded from 100 centers probably to 10,000. And she was not an administrator who ruled with law. She was somebody who ruled with love. And she led everybody with love. And she had this amazing discernment and decision making, wherein even, she She could tell you how to construct a place and what the architecture should look like, and she could revise the plans of the best informed. So people who had the best know-how about some stuff could be advised by Dadiji, and they found that that advice was very, very relevant and important, and Dadi had added a new dimension to it. So Dadi, what was it in Dadi that, and you know, Dadi, there is an example that Ramesh Bhai Sahab, who used to give about Dadiji, and Ramesh Bhai Sahab was a very senior brother, and he was a qualified chartered accountant, and he handled all the accounts. And then once he was not able to figure out something, and then Dadi pointed it out in the calculation sheet. so so Ramesh Bhai Sahab used to give this example and say that I was very proud to be the best chartered accountant until then, because he had won some degrees and he was like the number one in something at that time. And then Dadi just pointed out my mistake, and then I got to know that it is not about education, it is about intelligence, which is given by Baba. So Baba says you are not limited in any way, but because you think that some human is your parent and you have a certain body and then you have a certain qualification, and you start getting limited by the way you are seeing yourself in body consciousness. So Baba says now become aware that you are a soul. You are the child of the you are the child of intelligence himself. So Baba is the supreme intelligence, and then Baba is the ocean of knowledge, purity, love. So Baba says, when you start understanding who you have come to belong to through by this adoption through Brahma Baba. So you know, when you read the Murli or you are attending the classes, sometimes you don't have the awareness of who you are actually talking to and listening to, and who is it that you are having a relationship with. But Baba says, become aware of that. Okay, so this is something, and there is something somebody has written, education and degree is different. That's why new education policy, yes, so the ministry has introduced a new education policy 2020, and they acknowledge this thing that degree and education are two different things. And then, you know, even education and intelligence are two different things. So so you know, you could look educated also in many matters, and even if you don't have a degree, maybe grooming and this and that, but there is something called intuitive sense which Baba gives you, which is even beyond that. So that's there. Now Baba is talking about what I was giving you a commentary about in the meditation. So let me read that out to you first. Baba says, Baba is saying, the Father now says, children, may you be soul conscious. Consider yourselves to be souls. This body is perishable, whereas the soul is imperishable. This body is perishable, whereas the soul is imperishable. Those of you who cannot hear me clearly, please use an earphone, because it's about, you know, if when you use the earphone, you'll be able to hear me. Okay. So Baba says, this body is perishable, whereas the soul is imperishable. It is the soul, not the body, that has to take 84 births. So you have taken 84 births and 84 bodies. The body is continually changed, and it also has different friends and relatives. So the body has been changing. The context has also been changing. You have been in different places, different friends, different relatives. Souls now have to receive their inheritance from the unlimited Father, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The sanskars are in you souls. So Baba says, when you, so let me tell you something. I always think about this whole drama as virtual reality. So have you seen these days people are gaming and doing stuff on virtual reality? Now there are two children playing a car race, and the car is unreal and the race is unreal, right? So the car doesn't exist, the race doesn't exist, but they are somehow made to believe that it's happening. And then the competitive thoughts that you create at that time are real. And then the sanskars you are creating out of that are real. So if you look at the world like that, this is also kind of virtual reality. Now you see, every second is presenting you with a set. So it's a set of the drama. And then in that set, you are performing something, and then that set is dismantled and another set comes up. There is another arrangement. And this goes on continuously. But what you do in those moments stays with you. So what you thought was real in the past and whatever you did in those moments, that has finished. So that's not there anymore. But you're carrying it within yourself in the form of sanskars. So this is why Baba says that do not keep the drama in your awareness right now. So look at the drama and the scenes of the drama. And if you are acting under the influence of those scenes, then the sanskars that you are creating will not serve you in the future. So this is why Baba is telling us, just unplug your awareness from the drama and carry out your part or play your part in the awareness of Baba and the coming age. Yes, so always remember that Baba is watching you, Baba is with you, and you have to go to the new golden age. So keep those things in your awareness while conducting yourself, because anyways, the things that you are reacting to will change very soon. But what you create out of those reactions will stay with you. So Baba is telling us to stay in the awareness of not the virtual reality that's going on outside, but the reality that is eternal and imperishable. And that reality is you and your sanskars and your karma and Baba and the new world that is coming. So Baba says in the Murli today that souls now have to receive their inheritance from the unlimited Father, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. You listen to it and then imbibe it. Baba says you listen to these things about who you are and what your aim is, and you imbibe this. You stay in this awareness that I am a soul, I am imperishable, so I don't have to be afraid. There is nothing that can kill me. I am an eternal soul. And then the second thing is that I want to take an inheritance from Baba. So my focus should not be on the drama, but my focus should be on remembering Baba. And Baba says, you listen to this and imbibe it. The sanskars are in you souls. Sanskars are always in souls. You wouldn't say that they are the sanskars of the bodies, No, they are the sanskars of you, the souls that are tamo pradhan. So Baba says, right now you have tamo pradhan sanskars because of as Ravan's gift actually. So just like Baba is gifting you sato pradhan sanskars, Ravan has gifted you these tamo pradhan sanskars. And then Baba says, you now have to change them. It is said the body is eternal. Now, where is it said the body is eternal? So Baba says, in Satyug, in the golden age, you will be said, when people describe the golden age, they say the body becomes as eternal as the kalp tree. So कल्प वृक्ष जैसी काया, काया कल्प तरु हो जाएगी. It is said, है ना? So it is said that the body will also have a long life. Why? Because the soul has won over body consciousness. In the golden age, why will the body also have a long life? Because the soul has won over the fear of death right now. And do you know that scientists tell you that matter is non-living, yes, but matter is vibrating because of consciousness. So it is you, the souls, that are bringing this whole material world alive. So when you are vibrating at your frequency of purity, absolute purity and peace, when you are in your highest consciousness, then matter also will have a long life. So the body also, which is made of matter, will have a long life. So Baba says that means it has a long lifespan. You know that the lifespan here is very short because the soul, and one of the reasons why this pandemic is really getting to us is because we are in fear. So when the soul is powerless, the body cannot cling on to it, or the body cannot be durable because the soul has become so weak. So Baba says, when they are just sitting, Baba says, you know that the lifespan here is very short. When they are just sitting somewhere, some have untimely death at a young age. You are now conquering death by conquering body consciousness, okay? So Baba says, death never comes to you there. So no one leaves his body in an untimely way there. So death is never the problem. The problem is untimely and uncertain death. And when the death is timely and certain, if the day you're born, you know that you will live up to a certain age and then you just leave the body that particular day, you will be prepared for it, will you be not? And everybody is doing that around you, then you know that it is not death, it is change of costume. So Baba says, you know that this body has now become old, you have to renounce it and take a new one. Their harmoniums play at the time of leaving the body as well as at the time of taking birth. So both birth and death are celebrated there, because the flip side of death is birth. The flip side of death is birth. If somebody is leaving the body, it's time that they are taking a new body. So everything is, amenable to celebration. There is no question of crying there. And how will you reach that place? Only when you practice this being, bodiless and being imperishable right now. Now, there are certain comments or questions. Let me take them. How do you know that you are at the last birth cycle, that is 84th birth? Because you are getting Gyan, and after this you cannot go down. You can only go up. So, you have reached the lowest point when you have started going up. So, that's the reason. Okay, does soul take immediate birth after death of his or her current body? If not, then where souls stay at that time? So you see, right now, souls also keep wandering because of unfulfilled desires. So every soul takes 13 days to take rebirth. And in that 13 days, it takes 13 days or longer also sometimes, because if the soul is under the influence of unfulfilled desires, then it keeps wandering. And even if not longer, 13 days is required for that soul to figure out where they want to take birth. Because according to so just like you have money in your pocket and then you take some time to decide to what to do with that money. So similarly, the soul has a stock of karma and sanskars, and then it takes a while to decide where those sanskars and karma would fit in and what is the best bet for it, and what kind of body and surrounding can they afford and they want. So there are those two things. There is affordability and there is wanting, right? So this is why it is a good idea to, before we leave the body, be very prepared about what we want. So, after we leave the body, we keep asking ourselves what we want and where we want to go. If you are thinking about that right now, you will be very well prepared, and then you would have acted in a manner that you have the right karma and the right sanskar to make you end up where you want to end up. Okay, so that is what Baba is training us for. Now, the slogan today is very interesting. The slogan is: the reason for anger is selfishness and jealousy. The reason for anger is selfishness and jealousy. These are the roots of irritation. So, first of all, finish them. Now, you see, this is so true. And let me give you a very simple example. Even if somebody wants your time and you're being selfish about it, somebody wants to talk to you and you just want to focus on something else, and then they start asking you again and again, or they keep, badgering you, then you get irritated and ultimately angry, because they are asking you for something you don't want to give. So that is selfishness. So when you don't want to give something, it makes you angry. Whether it is time, whether it is, somebody wants you to help them out in the cleaning, and then you start getting irritated if they ask you 5 times because you don't want to give them that help. so so all that is selfishness. And then jealousy. What is jealousy? If you don't if you think about what somebody has and you don't have, and you get upset about it, then slowly you start blaming some factors and then you start getting angry, right? So if you start, so what is jealousy? When you do not like the fact that somebody has something and you don't have it. So that is jealousy. And this jealousy and this feeling of jealousy converts into anger very soon. Because whenever you feel at loss, you feel you don't have something, then you start blaming something or the other, and then you start getting angry on it. And then there is selfishness, when you are closing yourself and you don't want to share, and then somebody is pestering you to give your time or money or cooperation or anything for that matter, and then you get angry. So Baba says, once you start working on these two things, and how do you work on these two things? So first, recognize that you are here to serve. So if somebody needs something, give it. So that will make you overcome the sanskar of selfishness. Always know that your gifts are for greater good. So you have a gift, you have been gifted by God, you share it. That's the law. And the second thing about jealousy is whenever you see somebody having something which you don't have, then you should know it is time for you to get that by learning it. Yes, so you can also make the effort they made and you can also have it. And there is nothing you can't have if you make the effort. And if you just start getting angry about they having it and you not having it, you're not going to get it. Yes, so if you just start making that same effort with which they got it, you will have it as well because you have Baba with you. And he is open to helping you get anything you want. But you have to make the effort. So Baba says, deal with this selfishness and jealousy, and then you will not have any anger. Okay, Om Shanti.